Usually when I start my videos, I unpack the shipping packaging first. But this was so well packed, I had to actually do that off screen because it took quite a while. It was incredibly well packed. Let's get on with this. Well, welcome again to Tech It Out, and today we are looking at a car camera system. Now, I haven't done one of these for quite a long time, so when Orskey reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in having a look at their car cams, I was more than willing to help them along. This is the top of the range version. Now, I am not sponsored by them. They've sent this along as a free sample. No benefits to me at all. No encumbrance on what I have to say or do about the cam. If I find anything that I don't like, I'll say it. If I say I like something, it comes from me. I'm not sponsored. I'm not being paid by them. They simply sent it along as something for me to look at. So that out of the way, that's the legal bit and all that. Let's get on with unpacking this. The packaging again, the interior packaging, the main packaging is excellent. It's a 4K UHD and 1080p. That is configurable, as we'll get to later. Now, a quick look at the back of the packaging here. We got dual 4K 1080p cameras. So you've got a front and a back, or a front and you could have an interior camera if you want to set it up that way. It's got built-in GPS, so you can track your journey. You can take a reading and have it put onto the screen along with the video of your speed. So if you do get pulled over, for speeding, and you weren't speeding, then you can refer to the footage and say, look, I definitely wasn't speeding. Or if you were speeding, don't mention you have this feature on your camera, of course. Anyway, parking guidelines, excellent. If you haven't got a car with a reverse camera with the parking guidelines, this is a must. This is brilliant. My car hasn't got the reverse camera. It's just got the tone beeps as you reverse. This would be more than useful on my car, as I've got quite a large estate car, station wagon as they call them in America. The SD card is the first time I've seen a car cam that can take an SD card up to 250 gigabytes. It's got a parking monitor, so if you park up, it'll monitor the car, and if somebody bumps into it, well, you can actually look at who did it and hopefully get their details. There was a incident on one of the channels that I follow, a driving instructor who parked in a car park, and somebody bumped into their car, then drove off and parked the other side of the car park. He was able to see the number plate, see the person who did it, and see where they parked in the car park and go over to them and actually have a chat with them afterwards. Of course, as with most all car cams really, you've got loop recording. And there's some more details on the back there. The sensor, you've got a GC4653 CMOS sensor, 5 megapixel, and the chipset and everything is there. I don't need really to go into all detail about that. It's a 2-inch screen, so that's really good. And then the resolutions there, 4K, 2.5K, 1080p, and then you can configure the front and back in different resolutions. Records in H.265 or MP4. You can encode it. The pixel of the camera, the resolution is there for still shots, JPG files. It's all the usual stuff really. This is the basic stuff that most cameras will have. What's different, of course, about this is it does have those extra features. You've got, as I said, the reversing sensor, or reversing parking guideline sensor that you can use as a reversing camera. It's got the built-in GPS and several other features as well. Let's get this opened then, shall we? So, first time opening the box. Just put that one over there out of the way. I got a nice foam insert. Everything is this nice, very nice foam. So nothing's going to get damaged in transit. So I'll get rid of the foam out of the way. Wow, this is a lot smaller than I was expecting. The current car cam I have, for instance, is literally twice the size of this, and it does tend to get in the way. I have it sort of tucked up behind the mirror, but even so, it's still, it doesn't look very good, and it does get in the way. This one, however, is more like an action cam. Really good. You've got a rear camera in there. I take it that's a speaker there. On the top, you'll have microphone, no doubt. On this side, you've got your power input, and it is a mini USB, which is excellent because almost all car cams prior to this have come with that. So if you've got a wired-in system already, you don't need any adapters. You can just plug it straight into that. There is a reset button and the SD card slot. And then you've got your power on, menu button, up and down button, and select button. This camera records video in UHD resolution. It requires high-speed reading. Please use a high-speed memory card. Now, you can have a look at one of my other videos to see memory cards and their speeds and which are best to use with, especially 4K cameras. But I would recommend either a V60 or a V90 memory card for recording and taking the recordings off onto your computer. They are much, much better. The V30s, they do tend to struggle to keep up with the speed of recording. So anyway, that's the first part off. Put that just there. And then inside here, take out that. And underneath, you've got a lot more of the equipment that you need. So first of all then, you have this vacuum pad, which of course fits on to the top of the camera. And it's really simple. You slide it on, click, and it's in place. And it's done. And that's all that will be on the car windscreen, really. That's really good. So much better than the one I got at the moment. And my one is a named brand. Now then, what's in this one? Lots of wiring. So, let's see what's in here. Okay. So in here, you have the rear cam. So there's the rear camera there, and you've got a sticky pad and a spare sticky pad to put it onto your window at the back, so you can stick it onto the window, stick it onto a panel on the roof, whichever is best for you. It has to be interior as far as I know. It doesn't have an IP rating stated on the front. But yeah, you just put that on your window or on your roof, and it sets up. In fact, I'll probably stick this to my roof so it looks out the back window, because when I open my tailgate on my car, it does tend to pull the wires up and down all the time. So yeah, that looks good. And there's a very, very long wire. I'll get to that in a moment when we come to the specifications and things. And put that there. You've also got some screws. You can actually screw it in as well. In this packet, you have the power cord. And if you haven't got a wired-in system at the moment, then you could use this from an outlet, a 12-volt outlet, to power the camera. I'll be using that when I show you the settings on the camera with my power pack here in the house, rather than having to struggle in the car. And you've also got a USB lead to Type A to Type mini USB. Now, you may need this as well. I'll check later, but probably you'll need this for any software updates for the camera. I'll be checking for those before we actually go into the settings and everything, because there's no point going through all the settings and then discovering that you need to go through them again because there's new features been added. So there it is. It looks really good. It's about the size of my GoPro Hero 10 that I've just actually bought and reviewed. I'll put a link to that above. Yeah, it really looks good. This is... I'm a bit taken aback, really, because I really was expecting... I'm so used to seeing great big huge tube of a car cam or a great big block of a car cam that really takes up way too much room. And this is really nice, really nice. And the quality as well. There's nothing... You can't move this. Some cameras, you move them about and they creak and they groan and they feel as if they're going to fall apart. But this is really well put together. That's the camera. let's get my power pack up. We'll power it up and we'll have a look at the menu. But before that, of course, I'm going to just check to see if there's any software updates. And all of that, of course, will be coming in part 2 of this review of the Orskey S990 car cam. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit that bell, of course, to notify you when the next one is uploaded with all the settings. And I'll probably be doing a third as well with all the footage from the camera itself, having a drive around in the car. And you'll be able to see both cameras working.